Melanated gentlemen. I am one of your hosts. My name is Spencer, and today I'm joined by my wonderful melanated co-hosts.
This is Brandon.
And Jordan.
If you are joining us just listening, then of course we appreciate that. But we want you to know that this episode you may also be able to find on the YouTube. And once we get into today's episode, you will understand why this episode was put on the YouTube. That's going to be League of Melanated Gentlemen podcast on the YouTube. So before we get into today's topic, I believe there is a small bit of news, good news, perhaps, or just news. So we'll see how you feel about it. Jordan, what is today's news story?
Well, I will start with the headline, and the headline reads, Marvel made a deal to use Stan Lee's likeness for the next 20 years. So that means we'll be seeing Stan Lee again in some shape or form. And how the deal came about was Stan Lee's company, his two companies that he created before he died, they actually have his likeness, and they worked out a deal with with Marvel Studios to be able to use his likeness. But it's they put a little caveat in there. He can't appear in VR or in video games. It's a really random one, but hey. So that means, we could see him in hologram, Tupac style. We could just see like a picture of him. We could hear his voice again because they're able to use his voice over on different things. If you go to like the amusement parks like Disneyland, Disney World, you'll be able to see some type of Stan Lee tribute or stand-in or look-alike there as well. Saying his Excelsior, his catchphrase. So I think it's a good thing. What y'all feel about that?
I'm fine with it. I don't have a hard opinion one way or the other. I like the idea of seeing Stan Lee still doing cameos, but also I made peace with the fact that I wasn't going to get another one, and I was good with that. Like I don't need this. I'm not mad about it, but I don't need this.
Yeah, I just don't know I don't know who was asking for this. Like who was on the Twitter like, man, we need Stan Lee wasn't in Doctor Strange, so I just wasn't a fan. I think I am excited. I think it is dope that they're doing the whole like, at Disney World, at these like Disneyland, whatever, and like paying homage to him. That's dope. Like having a kid walk through and seeing like paying homage to Stan Lee, or a young actor playing a young Stan Lee, whatever. That's dope. Yeah. But in the movies, I think honestly, unfortunately that he passed, it makes you appreciate his earlier cameos. Like it makes you appreciate like the first couple phases. It makes you appreciate it more. So now it's kind of like, all right, that's not him.
I was thinking about the next 20 years too. There's going to be a whole generation of kids who didn't know who Stan Lee was is going to also be raised up on, getting to know who Stan Lee is.
Right.
Like if you're 8 years old now, when you start watching the MCU, you probably didn't know who Stan Lee was. The next 20 years, if you continue to see Stan Lee, by the time you're in your 20s, you're going to recognize who he is, and you can recognize his voice. I think the best way they should use it though is kind of let him be a narrator, like maybe for some show or some movie.
That'd be
or
dope.
Something. Use his voice. Like I would love to hear his voice again. Like I don't necessarily need to see him, but I think it's cool to hear his voice again and have him do like some background narration or something.
Didn't he do a narration of something recent? Not recently.
I think he did a documentary. I want to say, I thought it was an animal documentary, but I could just be completely tripping.
I don't remember. I just saw him. I heard his voice narrate something, and it was amazing. I was like, God damn.
That's kind of what you get. Like once you hit like your 90s, that's kind of just what you start doing. Like that's the natural transition is animal documentaries.
Right. Unless you're Betty White and you are still rocking.
Well, yeah, Betty White was just acting. Like she's just still in movies and stuff. Betty White, yeah, she. I understand that she was like 100 or she was 99 and change, but like too soon.
Yeah.
We needed more time with Betty White.
That's funny.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty excited to be able to hear his voice again, but not I don't necessarily need to see him. And like Brandon said, I don't know who called for this to even happen. It had to be somebody at Disney because I don't think the fans was like bring back Stan Lee.
Right, and it sounded like I didn't like the way he went out. To be honest, it was kind of disappointing because I know he was having issues with his family,
Oh yeah,
family trust and all that shit. And they was stealing from him, and he just wasn't aware of it. Like that was a whack way to go out. Like, so, and then to see that now that the family trust approves it, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, why were they holding it back in the first place? It just sounds like the people who are around it, unfortunately, just didn't have his best interests.
They could be trying to get more money, but I want to say something. It's about to be crazy. I already know. What if we got a Stan Lee zombie, appearance? Is that would that be too crazy?
No,
Like Doctor Strange style, he he pops into another version of himself. He can be zombie Stan.
I mean, and you need some more time. I think we need.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be a little on the nose.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good move.
I think we need about 10 years. Yeah,
It'd be a little cringy to just see a little zombie Stan,
and it should be it should be a young zombie Stan.
Exactly. Yeah, let that man rest. Yeah.
Goodness,
body can't even get cold. He's trying to.
Yeah, he's trying to rest, and people keep trying to wake him up. It's like I just want to sleep.
Exactly.
Well, alrighty. So today's episode is going to be a fun one. This will be the first of possibly many. You can let us know if you enjoy this episode and want more like it, because there are several options here. So what we have, I'm sure that you are aware that Marvel and DC tend to copy each other pretty regularly. So one company will make a character and then the other company will be like, hey, that's a good idea, or that's a good character, that's a good concept. Let us take a crack at that same thing. And so today, Jordan will be representing Marvel, Brandon will be representing DC, and I will be the neutral judge. And we are going to see both of them put on their lawyer hats and argue for which copycat character is better. So I'm going to, I have given them the characters in question, or the groups, or whatever they may be. I gave them to them in advance. They have been given time to do research, because as we know, prep time is a superpower. And we're going to see how these two gentlemen argue this case. So I will give the disclaimer that even if one of these people, and I know who I'm talking about because Jordan's a hater,
these people.
So Brandon may like the Marvel character in question, but today it's Brandon's job to shit on Marvel. So I have a feeling that today's episode may skew your opinion of Brandon's opinion. And I wanted to put that on the table. That way you understand, as a listener or a viewer, that Brandon has an appreciation for both companies.
Amen.
Brandon is a poser.
Jordan does not. Jordan
I appreciate the fine arts.
Jordan is a DC hater in his heart, and nobody knows why.
Nope.
And it's
even though he watches DC content,
that's because DC content is great.
Consumes it regularly.
It's cool, you know. I watched a few shows here lately.
Yeah, we've already discussed.
We'll touch on that.
Yeah, the movies, very hit and miss. No problem admitting that. But DC animation hits.
Yeah, comics easy.
I don't know about that.
Easy.
Easy.
You don't know about that, exactly.
Dude, I told y'all I've read DC comics. I read the Flintstones, and that's part of DC. So
you should be kicked off this podcast now for saying some stuff like that.
So, without further ado, let us jump in. How this is going to work, I'm going to name the pair. They will give year of publication. That way we will know who did it first. We will talk about superpowers and abilities and just kind of a general overview of the character. And then I will open the floor for opening statements. We will discuss, and then I will rule. So we are going to start today with two characters that have been in the world pretty recently, that have a release from this year. We're going to start with DC Comics Batman and Marvel Comics Moon Knight. So, Brandon, Batman's year of publication.
His publication was 1939, Detective Comics #1.
Jordan, Moon Knight's year of publication.
It was 1975 in Werewolf by Night #32.
Damn, okay, that's a long time.
We knew that.
Yeah, we knew that. Come on, man. Dude,
we knew Batman came out first. Batman been here for a while. Okay, so Brandon, brief rundown on Batman.
All right, I think we all know the goods here. Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, born to a very rich family. He has privilege. We all know it. It's not his fault, right? Born to a family. Obviously his parents get killed. He's living in the dumps. He's living in Gotham. He tries to, grows up, wants to save people, wants to save the world, wants to save his city, most importantly, takes on the mantle of Batman, takes on the role of Batman. And history, everybody knows the story from there.
And Jordan, you can tell us a little bit about Moon Knight.
Yeah, so seeing as we just left off a show called Moon Knight, I'll keep it kind of quick. So he was a mercenary, worked for hire, and he was actually in Egypt when he was killed and brought back to life by the god Khonshu, who is the god of the night. Moon Knight's whole story is he protects the travelers of the night. So if you are, traveling at nighttime and you're in his territory, then you're under his protection, no matter man, woman, beast, otherly creature, you are under his protection from any harm that might come to you. He is also, has some mental issues with DID, dissociative identity disorder, and he has multiple personalities, Steven, Jake, and Mark. We just came off a show, so I'm not going to, at this moment, I'm not going to go into that. So
yeah, and we'll save some of that for the statements that you'll make, because as we know, the comic books and the visual adaptations or the stuff in media can differ. So you can use anything that we've seen to your advantage. So with that being the case, Brandon, I will let you start with opening statements.
Welcome everyone. Glad you could be here for this massacre. Okay, we have Batman. Easily top 5 greatest superhero of all time. Some would say the greatest. He's relatable, yet not relatable, which makes him distant enough to where you look up to him, but he's close enough to where you go, okay, he's a human. He has some things I can do. But you also aspire to be him. He has an outstanding backstory. He has an outstanding villains. Joker, possibly the greatest villain of all time. He has a great team around him as far as Robin, Batgirl, Alfred, Gordon. It's a bunch of great characters around him. Unfortunately, Moon Knight doesn't have that. Right, we just got out of a show, and the most interesting character in the entire show may have been, Steven, maybe, not even the person when he puts on the suit. That's the reason why they didn't have him wear the suit.
Am I free to object at any time, or I'm letting him get his thing on right now?
You going
all right.
He will finish his opening statement.
Okay.
We'll get your chance, and then I will let y'all go at it.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. I don't like the interruptions. Let me gather my thoughts again. Okay, so yeah, Batman is one of the greatest superheroes of all time. What makes Batman great is because Bruce Wayne in himself is an interesting character, right? His bachelor ways, but also his love for his city, him trying to be a philanthropist and really helping his city with his money. But then at night, going about it, helping the city with fear, as you saw in the movie. So yeah, I think this is pretty easy. I think this is a layup, a two-step Euro step layup. You know what I'm saying? Moon Knight just isn't. He ain't even in the league. I think the best honest comparison to Batman in the DC universe, maybe Daredevil, maybe. He's still getting washed, but that's the best chance they have. Yeah, Batman is one of the greatest characters of all time. And we all know Moon Knight. Most people just found out who he was about 5 minutes ago. So, yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Let me start by saying I do want to, when we did the first appearance, I didn't give a shout out to the creators. I actually honor the creators. So it was created by Doug Monich and Don Perlin. So I just want to get it out there. So Moon Knight, let's talk about, I want to start by his mental health. This is a character who struggles with mental health. He is a character who people with other mental disorders aspire to be. He's not taking his mental health for granted. He is out there still fighting the good fight. I will admit, there is some similarities between him and Batman, but once you start looking at the characters, it ends real fast. Moon Knight has a great cast around him. I know Brandon tried to say that. Brandon's coming from a TV show where they threw in a character who's not in the comics. We never mentioned Frenchie Duchamp, his best bud, his Fox, whatever the Batman dude name. That's his Lucius Fox. Frenchie is his Lucius Fox. He's there helping him in the way. He is married as well. Batman, he's not married. He's a bachelor. I don't know what.
Yeah, let him finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor. Some people just don't have any manners.
That's not true, but it's fine. Go ahead.
You will be able to counter later. I promise.
Okay. All right.
So like I said, Moon Knight is married. He's the common man. He also has a child. He just wants to protect people, and the way he goes about it is he gonna beat your ass at nighttime. He wants you to see him. Moon Knight wears all white because he wants you to see him. He wants you to have that fear. So when Mark, puts on his Moon Knight outfit, he's beating your ass. Now, when he needs to get down to the nitty gritty, he's going to, switch personalities. He's going to hop in his taxi cab and we're going to get Jake. Jake Lockley is the character that we need if we need information from the streets, we hollering at Jake. And then Steven, we're not even going to mention the show Steven because they didn't do Steven right. Brandon talked about, having money. Batman has money and, he's rich and powerful and all that. But let's face it, man. Batman is out here beating up poor people and he's rich. We can say the same for Moon Knight almost, but it's a...
yeah.
This is only Moon Knight's personality. He didn't know he was rich as a personality.
Interesting tactic there.
What's the guy going? I was like, yeah, he did the same thing. But Moon Knight, he has a mental disorder, so he didn't know what he was doing. Steven.
Oh my god!
But I think Moon Knight has a better costume than Batman. Moon Knight has a few different options. Batman, has the same old regular schmegler stuff he's been wearing. So yeah. That is Moon Knight before we go into his powers and everything else.
Okay. Brandon? Now you are free to talk amongst each other. You have room. Yeah, you have room to discuss because I'm pretty sure Brandon's got some holes
Yes,
in your argument.
I got plenty. First of all, Batman is married. He's married to Catwoman. It actually just happened. It's one of the biggest
that's
events
more
in comics.
Yeah, okay, I give you that. That was more recent, but we don't know how that marriage is going. I'm sure it's a little rocky.
We don't even know who Moon Knight is married to, so who knows if that's rocky?
She's married to He's married to Marlene, and Catwoman is a hoe anyway. So
whoa,
she's for everybody. She for the streets, dog. Oh my bad, is that man wife? I'm sorry.
Goodness gracious, coming for women right now.
But yeah, what else you got?
His suit, obviously, his suit's changed over time. I mean, if you've paid attention, which you obviously have not, regarding DC, his suit
let me guess.
all the time.
It's probably all black, probably has an all black cape, and probably has a black Batman symbol. Is that about right?
It's changed from blue, it's changed to yellow, it's changed a few different times. His cape has been blue, his cape has been black. You know, it's different kinds, right? What else nonsense did you say? Yeah, like hey, if you want to talk about poor people, you know what I'm saying? Like Moon Knight beating up poor people too. And he's taking advantage of other people's mental health issues, but it's fine. I mean, yeah, I just don't think Moon Knight in any way shapes up. Like, and let's talk about powers.
Oh yeah, we can go there. Because I got his powers. So what you want to start with Batman? Because I mean Batman just a regular dude.
I mean, he's genius intellect. He's a tactician. He's an investigator, right?
Moon Knight is also an investigator and expert tactician. I feel like that comes along with the territory of a lot of these characters.
There's a reason why people use prep time, because he's known so much, that's the dumbest
argument. That is still the dumbest argument ever.
No, it isn't.
If he's not even a superpower.
If he's facing Moon Knight, he's probably going to talk to the other gods, or talk to the other avatars of the other gods, and try to get, you know what I mean, Khonshu put away or something.
You can't call another guy. You think you're going to call him on three-way? Like, hey, dog, I need to figure out what's going on.
He's going to call the avatar. He's going to figure out who the avatars of these people are, and he's going to talk to the avatars. They're not going to help. Let me
give you a little one of Moon Knight power. So actually, Moon Knight has sort of immortality, because Moon Knight's died 3 times already, and Khonshu continues to bring him back. So at this point, it's believed that Moon Knight can't die.
Yeah, so it's not really Moon Knight. It's more Khonshu's.
But they're a package deal. How many times have Batman died and come back?
None.
Exactly. So Moon Knight beat him up so bad he died. That's it. He ain't coming back.
Batman's good enough to where he don't get shot. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Moon Knight will take that shot, and Moon Knight will keep coming at you. His suit is actually made of antimanium. I don't know. I said that really weird.
Adamantium?
Yeah, I don't know why I said that weird. I don't know why I said it so weird like that. Adamantium, which is the same, the same stuff that Wolverine bones is, as well as his crescent darts. So I mean, in the DC universe, what metal is equivalent to that?
They don't really have like a metal that I can think of like that.
Oh, so
they do, but I'm the judge. So
I'll say what you're doing, Spenser. What you doing?
Wait.
So you mean tell me if Moon Knight throws a dart at Batman and hits him, what does he have to stop that?
I mean, there are certain kinds, but I mean, I think we're getting into like the trident of like Aquaman or something like that. That's indestructible, stuff like that. But
Batman ain't got it.
Batman don't need it though. Batman could just get his dude these hands. It's a wrap. I think we all know that.
He don't want them problems, because once again, Moon Knight is also a fighter. He will take them punches, and he will continue to give them back.
Right. Was he trained by Ra's al
Ghul? No, because he was trained
in the League of Shadows?
No, he was trained.
Okay.
He was trained in these streets of Brooklyn where he beating people ass.
He was trained on the street corner.
Let me tell you some of his major feats, because you guys don't know Moon Knight. You think he's some funny dude.
He's soft.
So, most recently, he's defeated the Avengers. Now, let me tell you who this team of Avengers is. He beat Iron Fist. He beat Doctor Strange. Look, you laughing, he beat Doctor Strange. Took his powers. Beat Ghost Rider. Took his powers. Also, he redirected Thor's hammer and ended up taking Thor's power. And he also most recently came possessed by the Phoenix Force, who tried to get him to take over the entire Manhattan, but he was able to fight back the Phoenix Force. And we all know the Phoenix Force is, omnipotent power.
So he got the Phoenix Force, and he thought, I'm going to take over Manhattan rather than the entire world. It's a little weird. I'll give you this. I mean, there's a whole movie about Batman preparing and being able to take down the entire Justice League. And I think if we compare the characters you just named versus Superman, Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman,
we're gonna get into it. Who's better out of the Justice League and Avengers? I mean, we got to talk about that later.
I'm just saying, I think this is pretty clear and cut. I don't want to waste any more time.
I just want to give you, you said Batman is relatable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. Do you relate to Bill Gates?
No. Well, as a human, he's a human. Sure.
But can you relate? Can you relate to him? Like, do you understand what he goes through?
Sure. He likes to read. He lives a regular life other than trading stocks and owning a big company where it used to.
So are you telling me you can relate to a billionaire? Which Batman is probably a billionaire, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, but I think those two are bad examples. Like, he lives a different lifestyle than Bill Gates.
Do we know that? Bill Gates could be Batman, and the other dude could be Lex Luthor. What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't know what they do in the nighttime.
He's Luthor for real.
See, and don't nobody know Bruce Wayne is Batman, so Bill Gates could be the real life Batman. I'm just saying, these are not relatable characters. I don't relate to this white millionaire who beats up on poor people. I don't know how you relate to that.
See, that's what losers think of that way.
You would be a victim of Batman.
See, that's what these new little millennials. He's beating up on poor people. Man, he's saving lives. Stop it. That man's saving lives.
What was that Dave Chappelle joke? Is he hurting more than he's saving?
Let's not bring up.
Y'all know what I'm already talking about.
We're not doing that.
Well, yeah, if you already know the joke. If you don't know the joke, go check out the Dave Chappelle on Netflix stand up. And also, let me tell you, Moon Knight is humanized. Did you know every Hanukkah, because Moon Knight is Jewish, every Hanukkah, the Thing sends him a card because they're both Jewish. The Thing is Jewish. That is such a down-to-earth thing for someone, to send you a card. How many cards is Batman getting from people? Nobody even likes Batman.
Batman is extremely relatable. If you think about his relationship with the Robins, think about his relationship with Damian Wayne.
You mean these child killers that he raised?
No, it's, if you just look at the story at his base, he's raising a teenager who has extreme angst against him, who looks up to him but doesn't tell him he looks up to him because he doesn't want him to think too much of him. Right? He has a father-son relationship with Alfred. I think we all can relate to a father-son relationship.
I mean, the dad is Alfred like shit.
He doesn't. The movie said that, but he doesn't.
Hey, it's out there. Spenser said it's out there. So in my eyes, he treats him like shit. And he raised some child killers. Come on now, how can you relate to that?
They were already on that route. He just trained them to do it in the right way.
So are you telling me we should punish people for crimes they haven't committed yet because you think they're on that route?
That's a far reach.
Are you
a far reach, bro?
How? I'm just trying to weigh your heart.
Damian Wayne was raised by Ra's al Ghul, by Deathstroke. He was already a killer. Batman took him in and taught him how to not kill, but to help people. It's not raising.
What about Jason Todd, Dick Grayson? What about those guys? One of them guys was in the circus, just trying to live his best life, and Batman his
family died. He helped him out
by training him to beat up people, poor defenseless people.
Poor defenseless.
Can we talk about Barbara Gordon? He practically, raised up to be a killer, and then she ended up getting violated because of him. If she never met Batman, would that even happen to her?
Your Honor, I rest my case. This man's reaching at this point.
Oh my goodness! I do want to give you a little quick fun fact too. Not Batman.
Look at you.
Yeah, I was so angry just now. Spider-Man and Moon Knight actually combined and became the Arach Knight, which I thought was pretty cool. I just want to throw that out there because I found that, even though I read it. But Batman don't have no other powers. I mean, Moonlight, expert pilot, expert detective, marksman, weapon master.
Everything you said.
Yeah,
everything you said, Batman can do. So, yeah.
Well, you know,
Um,
with Batman coming first, there's going to be a lot of characters, that people compare to Batman, and you know, some of the later characters just happen to surpass him.
in this particular case,
Biased.
I think we
oh
can.
no, we're
Oh, I didn't say that. Oh, did y'all hear that?
um,
I thought that in my head.
oh, did you? Okay. I'm going purely based on the arguments that were presented. And based on the arguments that were presented, I rule in favor of Brandon Willis for this particular.
Thank you.
Yeah, but the people
Dove
on
season.
YouTube see the Batman symbol behind Spencer, but he's not biased. But
I
okay.
mean, let's not blame the judge. Let's
You're right.
not be that
You're right.
person.
You're right. I'm not gonna blame the man who has the Batman poster and voted for Batman to win, but okay, you're right.
It's an arbitrary judge. Let's not do that.
Well,
Respect the law.
The thing is, Brandon made a better argument than you did.
Thanks.
So that was. Are you telling me there was a chance I could have won?
If you'd have made a better argument, yeah, like that's what this is.
Okay. All right, I'll take that. It's fine. I'll take that.
So for the next one, we have for Marvel, Doctor Strange, and for DC, Dr. Fate. Jordan, year of publication for Doctor Strange.
April 1963, created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko.
Brandon, year of publication for Dr. Fate.
World War II, 1940, by Gardner Fox.
All right, Dr. Fate came first, it looks like. Jordan, what can you tell us about Doctor Strange?
Once again, we just came up off a movie, and he already has another movie out, so we kind of know his origin story. But I will go over, Stephen Vincent Strange, his little origin story. He's actually 6'2", 180. I didn't realize he was 6'2". But he was a neurosurgeon who got in a car accident, and he ended up crippling his hands as well as more parts of his body. And he, went on a journey and ended up meeting with the Ancient One, who was not a woman, however they did the movies. But yeah, he ended up meeting up with her, and he ended up getting healed by magic, and he ended up wanting to stay and understand magic and learn magic, and he ended up becoming a sorcerer underneath his teachings.
Okay. Brandon, what can you tell us about Dr. Fate?
The great Dr. Fate. His story is a little more complicated. So Dr. Fate is a mantle. It is not a, like Sorcerer Supreme is kind of like handed out. Whoever wants it can get it.
Oh,
Dr. Fate is a Dr. Fate is actually a helmet. It's a helmet. It's the amulet of Anubis. It's the cloak of destiny, and then it's the helmet of fate. Right, you have to put that on. The main person I'll be talking about is Kent Nelson. That's the main kind of Dr. Fate that most people know. Essentially, it's when you put on the helmet, the god called Naboo kind of takes over you, and he uses you kind of as a host almost. It's kind of a cool story, real quick. Essentially, Naboo, the helmet of fate, was so powerful that Captain Marvel, the DC Shazam, took it and threw it into space because he thought, fate will allow whoever's supposed to wear it next, we'll leave it up to fate. And so somehow it ended up back on Earth. Ken Nelson was, divorced his wife. He was struggling. He was a regular guy. I think he was a psychiatrist actually, and he was struggling. He lost his wife. Blah blah blah. He was living on the streets, and then he, I think it was raining outside, and so he was like, I need something to cover me. So he like fumbles around. He's kind of homeless, so he fumbles around the trash, finds a helmet in the trash, and goes, "Oh, okay, this will help me." Puts it on, and then it's on from there. Naboo takes him through his past and kind of takes over his body from there. So yeah, Dr. Fate, 6'2", 197, standing tall and broad. So yeah, that's Dr. Fate.
Okay. Their powers are magic. So
Essentially, yeah.
Very extensive there.
Right.
So
Yeah, I was looking at Doctor Strange powers. I was like, damn, this is too much.
yeah. So Jordan, go ahead.
Oh wait, are we talking power? Or are we going with arguments?
We're
I got a
going,
list of powers and stuff.
I mean, you can make the powers a part of your argument.
Okay. I just want to quickly talk about Doctor Strange because this is a very popular character now. First, I'm gonna start out with some of the teams that he's been on because he's been on some big ticket teams. He's been a part of the Avengers, the Defenders, the Midnight Suns, which is kind of like a supernatural team, and the Infinity Watch. And the Infinity Watch is basically a team put together who they each individually have an Infinity Stone. And if we know how powerful the Infinity Stones is, we know how powerful that person who is protecting them has to be. So Doctor Strange, some of his powers is infinite longevity. So he ages, but he ages slowly, kind of like the H1 did in the movie. Energy blast, astral projection, telepathy, telekinesis, flight, illusions. He's a very powerful sorcerer. He's able to draw in a lot of different powers from different gods across the Marvel universe. So he has to be able to handle all of that magic that he pulls in. He has to be able to use that under very stressful situations. He's often going against other powerful sorcerers such as Baron Mordo, Morgan Le Fay, which is one of the most powerful sorcerers in the Marvel universe, as well as other gods. Shuma Gorath, he goes against that god. He's a god from another dimension. It goes against Mephisto, who is the Lord of Hell, or a version of Hell in Marvel. Doctor Strange, he's able to, kind of think and figure out stuff, on the fly because he was a surgeon. He understands how to think critically under tense situations. He's able to make the right call when it should be, an easy call, and sometimes he makes that hard call. We saw in Endgame, or Infinity War, whichever one it was. He had to make the call where he had to give up the Infinity Stone. And sometimes, it takes a strong will for a character to do that because you're going to cause the death of millions. He has a lot of different, I guess, weapons as well. He has his cloak, levitation. He has the chains of Sidorak that he's able to call in and bring forth and use them however he wants to. He also has the Eye of Agamotto, which is a very powerful weapon. It was originally by the most powerful sorcerer, Agamotto, the first sorcerer supreme. And like Brandon said, sorcerer supreme is a title, but not many actually hold on to that title, and he is the longest one who actually has that title. So he's no pushover, and I definitely know he will find a way to do something with a little trash helmet. But I'll rest my case for that right there.
Brandon.
All right. That was good stuff there. All right. Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate, I mean, let's just go off looks alone. Dr. Fate just looks dope. Like, the helmet is fire. The cape. I mean, everything just aesthetic wise, he just looks like somebody you do not want to play with. So let's talk about his powers. Obviously magic, it's a bunch of wordplay. You could look at a list and they're just gonna have 80 different things that magic could help them do. But one thing is he has immortality. He can't be killed. Invulnerability. So it said that even like he can withstand like someone destroying, they call it the Tower of Fate, which is where he lives in its own little realm. So someone could destroy the Tower of Fate, but not destroy him. He can even withstand Superman punches, which most people cannot, right? He's also one of the most powerful beings, and not only in many different multiverses. A lot of times, Constantine comes to him for help. Swamp Thing comes to him for help. These are major magic beings that come to him for help. He's part of the Justice League Dark. It's one of the more powerful in Justice League also. I also, for this argument's sake, I Googled. I didn't even want to find all this information. I just Googled it. You know how you Google something and it just, boom, come up? It was Dr. Fate versus Dr. Strange. I hit enter and it said immediately, I'm gonna read it verbatim. Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate has proven he is way more powerful than Doctor Strange. Essentially, what happened was in the comics, it showed there was a comic to where Dr. Fate can break the fourth wall. So it was a Flash comic. It was a kind of early on when Dr. Fate showed up, and he essentially, there's a panel, you guys can Google it, Dr. Fate breaking the fourth wall, and he essentially, like, it's a cool little picture. Like, he kind of puts his hand outside of the frame of the artwork of the comic and points at you basically and says, yes, you, the reader, I need your help. We need to do something with fate. And essentially what that did was that proved that he can break the fourth wall and that he can exist outside of the DC multiverse. So Doctor Strange's powers are solely within the Marvel universe, right? What you would think. But Dr. Fate is so powerful that he can go, if he wanted to, he could go and exist in the Marvel multiverse due to his magic powers. So Dr. Fate is just on a different level of sorcery and the way he uses magic. He doesn't have many top tier villains because most people don't even try to challenge him. He usually is helping other members of the Justice League or Justice League Dark figure out their magic issues. So yeah, Dr. Fate, he's obviously had many other people. It's a mantle, so it's not just Kent Nelson, but he's the main person. So yeah, I rest my case there. He's just top tier sorcerer. He's better than Doctor Strange.
But he's a helmet.
Yeah, I mean, he's better than a necklace with an eye on it, or a cape that saves you half the time.
So there's a potential that the helmet can come off, right?
There is. It's extremely difficult to do, but yes.
So is there a situation where Doctor Strange could remove the helmet, send it to another dimension, and that's it?
Fantasy land, sure.
Comic books are a fantasy land.
True.
I would just like to point out.
That's true. But Dr. Fate is so strong that he would never let that happen. He could easily just send Doctor Strange to a different realm and not even have to worry about it.
I mean, Doctor Strange also have dimensional travel, which all these magical characters can often go to different dimensions.
But he is stuck in the Marvel universe. His powers are stuck there. Dr. Fate is not contained by any universe, any multiverse. There's no anything you think as far as comics.
But he has to have the helmet has to have a host.
Yeah, Kent Nelson is the host.
So if we remove the helmet, we can kill Kent Nelson and send the helmet to a different dimension. And that's it. Can we send it to the sun? I mean,
it's immortality. So it won't
that's the helmet. I mean, the helmet is just going to chill there, right?
But it's just like Sorcerer Supreme, right? Like anybody can grab that, right? As we saw in the movie.
Yeah, but anybody can be the Sorcerer Supreme. You're right, but he's outside of Sorcerer Supreme. He's still Doctor Strange. He can function, without that title. It's just a title. That's just what it is. It's just like Mr. That's it. Like I'm Mr. Jordan. Like it's just a title.
Right. That's the great thing about Dr. Fate. It's not just a title. It's actually if you have the title of Dr. Fate, then you are Dr. Fate. Like there's no I don't feel like being Dr. Fate today. I'm gonna hand it over to somebody else. No, you're literally host, and Naboo decides.
So what happens if my Kent personality doesn't want to accept this Dr. Fate? Because it sounds like he's just taking over the body.
Exactly. There is no discussion. There is no arguments. There's no Moon Knight. Well, I'm not feeling good today, and then another personality goes, well, I am.
So he's doing this without their permission. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, he's the host. That's what a host does.
And you're fine with that? Like not asking permission? Are you good with that?
Hey man, he enhanced Ken Nelson's life. Ken Nelson, was.
It sounds like he didn't give him permission. It sounds like he didn't give him permission. That's what it sounds like. Just because he was
put
down
the
on
helmet
his
on his head. That's just part of it.
So
in the story, in the comics,
also
in the comics, he has taken the helmet off before and put it back on, voluntarily, because he needed to, say the word.
So if that is the case, I see this going multiple ways. Doctor Strange can rewind time back to the point where Kent Jones, whatever my man name is about to put on the helmet.
Some respect on my
Kill
dude name.
Kent Jones. Kill him.
Nelson.
Nelson.
Where did Jones come from?
Yeah, put some respect on my dude's name.
I don't even know where Jones came from. But send the helmet to a different dimension, and that's the end of the argument. So that's way one. Way two is he can get into the mind, go back in time again, or he don't even have to get into the mind of Kent Nelson, convince him to take the helmet off and kill him, and he can put it. What happened if he put the helmet on himself? Is that considered? Who is that?
I mean, there's no more Doctor Strange. That's exactly what happens. So yeah,
I was wondering that, but then he could take it off himself.
No, there's no taking it off.
You just said Kent Nelson voluntarily took it off.
Well, Nobu took it off, and that's when Kent Nelson got his identity back, and then he wanted to be Dr. Fate again.
Like I said, Doctor Strange will rewind time, send the helmet to the bottom of the ocean, send it to another dimension, send it to the sun, and it could just stay there.
There is no rewind. He isn't dealing with Dormammu. He isn't dealing with some regular cat. It's just going to be like, yeah, rewind. Like, again, Dr. Fate does not even exist in the same realm as this dude. Like, he can go anywhere he wants. There is no, like, he can do anything he wants, literally. He just, a lot of time he chooses not to. He's chilling with his girl in his tower.
And sounds pretty selfish then. If he can do anything he wants to and he chooses just to chill when the world needs him.
No, that's the great thing about him. He has a tower, the Tower of Fate. Most of the time he is helping people. He has a whole bunch of books in his Tower of Fate. He has his wife. He's a great husband, and he helps other people. He helps Constantine. He helps all these people.
Well, I mean, like I said, Strange has been on a plethora of teams. So when it comes to helping people, I mean, he is there. He is the man. He's the go-to person. Like I said, he's been on the Defenders, Avengers, Midnight Suns. He's there multiple ways. He's fought multiple.
He's not the go-to person. I love Doctor Strange, but he's not the go-to.
He with anything magical, he's gonna be number one go-to person. Is he not?
I don't even know. I mean,
but you just told me he was your favorite person. You don't know if he the go-to person for magic.
I think he is, but I don't know for sure.
I just see a situation.
It's not Brendan's job to determine that.
I just see a situation where we can rewind time and get rid of the helmet. That's the whole point. It's the helmet. Like he can't. He's nothing. He's just a lifeless body, or just a lifeless tool.
Here's my last one. In the comics, Doctor Strange is about to die. I think he's dead already.
Yeah, I think he died recently.
Yeah.
Oh no, I died.
So Stephen Strange can die. Dr. Fate cannot. Dr. Fate literally just moves on to the next. Dr. Fate was a woman, and they moved on to her, and moved on to a couple people. There is no killing Dr. Fate. There is no rewinding time to kill the person. Whoever you kill, he's gonna find another. Nobody's gonna find another host.
Couldn't you just send him to a planet where there's no life? To a dimension where there's no life?
The great thing is it's dependent on fate. So if someone's meant to have the helmet,
here we go. Sounds like a Batman argument,
I'm just saying, Captain Marvel, Shazam, the real Captain Marvel, threw it in space, threw it in space, and he literally was like, "Whoever's meant to get it will get it," and that's what happened.
So he threw it in space and it basically came right back down to a trash can because that's how trash it was. That's why I don't understand. He threw it in space and it landed back in a trash can.
No, if he's on another planet and he throws into space, that could be our direction. It could be Earth.
Oh, I thought you said he was on Earth and he threw it in space.
See, that's your Earth privilege. I don't mean he was on Earth.
Well, that's even worse. That means another person from another planet threw it and it landed directly in the trash can.
Well, it's your Earth privilege, man. What makes that other planet bad and what's good?
I mean, we got water, we got fresh air, kinda.
It's the same. That other place we
got all these superheroes here.
I'm just saying, your boy Doctor Strange almost got took out by some of the weakest, and he got girl issues. I mean, struggle.
Who don't got girl issues, bro? We got 99 problems.
Dr. Fate don't.
Oh, I was gonna say something real toxic. I was like,
look at you. Tighten that up.
See, you almost got me caught up, man. You almost got me caught up.
Your Honor, I rest my case. You can keep going. I rest my case.
let it be known that I was just looking at the word. Stephen Strange has fought against some of the most powerful sorcerers. So Doctor Fate, it's just gonna be another Tuesday for him.
I'll say this.
Oh, I thought you
Okay,
were
last.
case.
I'm sorry. Last thing. Constantine Swamp Thing come to Doctor Fate for advice, for help. If you put Constantine or Swamp Thing in Marvel, they fuck some shit up. They wouldn't have
that's hearsay.
Any chance.
That's hearsay. We don't even know. No one knows who Constantine is. We're talking about Keanu Reeves.
You can't name more than like 3 sorcerers in Marvel Universe. I can name. There's a whole team of sorcerers,
bro. Scarlet Witch, sorcerer,
witch. She's a witch, but it's fine.
Are we getting into this conversation again between?
I think we broke that down in our last episode. Teaching
all right. Morgan Le Fay, Clea.
Wait, Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah.
Who's that?
You don't even know who it is. The most powerful sorcerers. Bro, it's like you call yourself a Doctor Strange. Anyway,
I'm saying you got like voodoo random dudes.
Yeah, Dr. Voodoo. Clea. You just told me to name 3. That was just 3 off the top of the head.
Bro, Constantine. Swamp Thing. Like, there's so many.
You just said 2. Name 3 that's outside of those 2.
Forgot her name. She literally in Doctor.
I want to help you so bad, but I can't.
I know. I literally forgot her name. She literally does magic. She does it for a living too. She actually like is on stage.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm not gonna help you out either. I know exactly who you're talking about. I swear I do. I can tell you what letter it starts.
She's in Young Justice. She's in Young. I think it starts with a Z. She's in Young Justice. I know what it is. But yeah,
so that's
either
one
way.
Oh, look, that was real fast.
The point is, people who look up to Dr. Fate could destroy.
It sounds like it's just these 2. It sounds like it's just these 2 scrubs who looked up to Dr. Fate.
That's my point. They're not scrubs. They're better than anybody else.
Your Honor, is the argument over? Because I'm gonna tell him who the name was. This is crazy. Y'all call me not a DC fan, but I know who it is.
I'm just saying.
Are we done with the argument? So I can tell him?
No. I'll say this. Last thing I'll say. The whole Doctor Strange movie was based on them struggling with dark magic. Come on. In DC, Dr. Fate be living in dark magic.
Come on, man. We're talking about between the comics and the movies. If that's the case.
That's the same thing in the comics. Dark magic he struggles with because he has to go to mess with Mephisto and all those. And he be getting pieced up.
And Blackheart. But he ends up winning, huh? Anyway, the sorcerer that you are looking for, she says her spells backwards. Her name is Zatanna.
I knew it. I just said
you didn't know it. I know DC.
I said Zatanna. Yeah.
There's also her father Giovanni. He does magic too. I believe that Dr. Fate is a stronger character than Doctor Strange. Like in a fight, Dr. Fate is going to win probably 85 out of 100 times. However, I rule in favor of Marvel for Doctor Strange being the better character. For the next one, we have on the DC side of things, Superman. And on the Marvel side of things, Sentry. Brandon, Superman really needs no introduction.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
But you go ahead.
Okay. His year of publication was 1938. Action Comics #1, classic. It's still going on to this day.
And Jordan, what is Sentry's year of publication?
So this one is 2005, a first appearance in Sentry #1, created by Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee.
Okay. Brandon?
2005? Like what? I was born before 2000. Golly.
Because you're old, bro. That's what it is.
I work with people who were born after that. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's Superman. Like, that's literally all I got to say. And he wins the argument. He's 6'3", 235. He's peak condition. Any human wants to be Superman, right? He's from Kent. The great thing about Superman, he's from a small town, so you can't be like, man, I can't relate. He's from Smallville, Kansas. My man grew up like a regular kid, and then his parent had great parenting, and then prepared him to take his powers later on in life, or display his powers later on, and use them for the betterment of humankind. He lives in Metropolis now with his girl Lois. You know what I'm saying? Got his kids. Oh, speaking of which, we'll touch on Jordan. You just watching the full season of Superman and Lois. We'll touch on that later. We'll touch on that. Also known as his other name, Clark Kent, Kal-El. Created by Jerry Siegel, and I think it was Joe Shuster. I think it's Schuster. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Like, the dude's powers are stupid. I actually just learned that he can travel through time using there's a thing called the cosmic treadmill, which if you can run fast enough, you can travel through time, which obviously is what Flash has done before, but Superman can do the same. We all know his other powers: flight, genius intellect, outstanding investigator. He sees, obviously, X-ray vision, cooling powers. I mean, if he gets in the correct sun, obviously. I mean, we know his weaknesses, but they live it up. They blow it up in TV shows to make it a better. It's like a plot point. Like, we got to make sure kryptonite is available for these people, otherwise they have no chance.
Can I say something right quick? I do wonder.
No, we're his side. Okay. We're in opening statements.
Okay.
Thank you, golly. All right. But yeah. Oh, also energy absorption. So if you hit him with energy, with any sort of energy or any sort of energy blast, he can absorb that and use it against you. So, I mean, that eliminates most villains that try to go up against him. As you've seen, I think the tough thing about Superman is they try to make it to where the fight is somewhat fair. So, like, he'll get punched, he'll get shot with a blast, and he'll be like, oh, but like, we know, like, if he could just murder this dude and get him up out of here. But that's the great thing about Superman. That's not who he is. And the last thing I'll say about Superman, one of the greatest stories about Superman ever, was the one time where it was a girl who was going to commit suicide. And she was working at a cubicle all day. She was like, I've been working at a cubicle for the longest time. My parents just died. I have no reason for living. And Superman explained to her, like, it's not about saving everyone. It's about saving one person at a time. And so he helped the girl, calmed her down, talked to her about giving life another chance, try day by day, and he saved her. Right? That's a classic Superman story. I know he's most powerful. He can go cosmic. He can travel anywhere. But the greatest thing about Superman is, yeah, he'll fight Darkseid, but he'll also save a cat from a tree. He'll save a kid who's hurt. He'll save a train that's getting destroyed or something. The man can do it all. I mean, that's probably my favorite superhero. I like all the darkness stuff. I like DC because we love all the little dark and
a lot of favorite characters.
The blood splattering and all that stuff. But the greatest thing we all want, a superhero, essentially, is someone who can save people and has good intentions. And that's what Superman is. He's literally the beginning of it all, where everything else was based from. A lot of copycats out here because of Superman. So that's my argument.
Jordan?
This one's gonna be a little bit more difficult, just because I've heard of Sentry, so this is like the most I've researched about Sentry. So kind of his backstory is he was actually a meth addict who broke into a lab and took a. Bro, are we laughing because he on drugs, bro? What is wrong with you? God,
Continue.
Like I said, he was an addict who broke into a lab and took something called the Golden Sentry Serum that scientists had developed. And he ended up gaining the power of 1 million exploding suns. Now, what that is basically when he punches you, it feels like, the power of exploding suns, except there's 1 million of them. And he was actually a hero in Marvel Comics in the 1950s. This is like retconning. But he was a hero in the 1950s, but he was so powerful that he caused a lot of destruction, and he had to be placed he had everyone else placed like under a spell where they end up forgetting who he was. So he was always around when the Avengers first formed. But because he was so powerful, they had to make people forget. And the reason they had to make him forget is because he has split personality. So his other personality is called the Void, and he is basically all of Sentry's repressed power, or I guess repressed personality. So he is the complete opposite. Where Sentry is, he's good, the Void is actually bad. So he still has all the same powers, except he is unhinged. And in the Marvel universe, Sentry is like the last resort. So he's only get called in when things are about to end and things are about to go real bad. Some of his powers are he's chemically enhanced physiology, which means his body is actually made of solar power. So he's a solar based power. He has molecule manipulation, so he can actually create stuff in his hands. He's also immortal. All the regular superhuman speed, strength, flight, photokinesis, which means he can control and emit different lights, as well as energy blasts. He can also turn invisible by deflecting light upon himself. He also has power of resurrection, and also he has a genius level intellect. And I just want to give you, a fun fact, a couple fun facts. I mentioned the sun. So 1 million, suns. Do you know how hot the sun is? You don't. So I'll tell you. The sun is actually 10,000 degrees hot. So if you multiply that, by 1,000, I don't know why I put 1,000, but basically 1 million, it's going to be, that's a lot. The temperature is hot, and that's how in my notes I put 1,000. I don't know what I put 1,000 for, but I put multiply by 1,000 times. It was 90 million. I don't remember. I must have been drunk that night or something. But basically, what I'm saying is his energy blasts are very hot, and his punches, are putting people down. He's beaten Thor, and he also destroyed Asgard. He ripped the god of war, Ares. He completely ripped his body in half. He fought one of the strongest, probably the strongest character in Marvel at his strongest peak, which is World War Hulk. Hulk got sent into space with the Illuminati, came back for vengeance, and he was at the strongest at the strongest point he was at, and he actually fought the Hulk into a tie. He's also fought Galactus, the god, the devourer of Earth's planets, whatever you want to call him. Also fought him into, a tie. So this character he's still new. He's just too powerful to keep around. So they often have to figure out a way to get him out of the story because, like I said, he's very unstoppable. And like I said, in his void state, he is very unstable. So anybody can get it. I'll rest my case there. And I'll start with, so let's talk Superman real quick. I watched Superman and Lois, so I'm getting a lot of my arguments off this. Okay. You said he's a small town boy. We can relate. I can't relate to that. Can any of you other gentlemen on the podcast relate to being a country boy out here baling hay?
I can, low key, but yeah.
Oh, you can. So wait, you can relate to a billionaire like Bill Gates, but you can also relate to a country folk like this?
I mean, my family's from New Lime, Oklahoma, sir. So yeah, we was out there doing hay. I was jumping on hay, getting caught in between the haze. Yeah.
So Brandon's in touch with millionaires and baling hay. Okay, that's very impressive.
Versatility. I can
Also, Superman. Do we really want to be like Superman? Is this if everybody was like Superman? Do you think that would make the world a better place?
Yeah.
No, Superman is very unhinged as well. He has to try so hard to hold his power back. When the Void, he just lets his power go. He doesn't have to hold back. He chooses not to hold back. Just like if he was to go against Superman, he would not hold back. And also, let me say, kryptonite is readily available everywhere. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff is coming from Krypton, but it's on Earth everywhere. It's pretty readily available. In all media, we always see somebody has kryptonite.
It's a plot point. It's a plot device.
So who's to say my man didn't have kryptonite? You throw this little bitty pebble at Superman, and he basically as strong as, one might say a Jordan.
I will say, you mentioned suns, and just so happens that Superman usually does really well with the sun. You know, he
Except
has a pretty
red.
good has a
Except
pretty good
red.
relation. He has a pretty good relationship with the sun. From what I've heard, Century is just the sun. It's not a red sun, blue sun, purple sun. Just
We
the
don't know.
sun.
Hey, I don't see color. I don't know what sun it is.
Okay. Well, most suns are the same color, unless they mention that it isn't the same color. So if it is the same color, that is what powers Kryptonians. So if Sentry was to pull up on Superman and try to fight him, he would almost enhance his powers. And we know either way, Sentry ain't standing a chance. Also, I read a comic recently, and Sentry isn't even like my man getting murked out here by Venom. So a comic recently where, yeah, you're right. There were Null, the god of symbiotes, right? Comes to Earth. He whooping everybody ass in the Marvel universe, obviously, because they trash. But they like, oh yeah, oh snap. All right, we got the last resort. Let's call Sentry. Sentry come down all like, yeah, I'm gonna handle this shit. And Null's like, get the fuck out. And literally splits him in half, like splits him in 1,000 different pieces, splits Sentry in 1,000 different pieces. And the Sentry can regenerate. But if you destroy it, the only way he can regenerate is if he has his brain to do so. And he split him in so many pieces that he didn't even have his brain fragments to put together to think to regenerate. So the point is, like, your boy can't even handle his business in Marvel Universe, let alone come to the strongest superhero in all of media. Not just some, not just maybe. No, it's literally the greatest DC stories are built around Superman. Like, they're like, oh man, we need Superman to, like, Superman died, oh, we need him to come back so we can save the world again. That's the great, literally in Justice League, he almost woke up the entire universe and made them aware of superheroes when he died and he screamed. So the point is, your boy Sentry ain't like that. And you mentioned the Void. I mean, you talk about unhinged. He can kill himself almost. He has no thoughts. There's no anything going on up there when he's
I must
the Void.
say, Superman has been the same since 1938. These characters, all your people are the same. We need some. Superman came first. I give you that. But like I said, newer characters come along and they do it better. Having your character have a split personality where he can't control it, that's nice. And like I said, if he comes to the DC universe, every common person has kryptonite. It can be found in caves, apparently. It can be found, your mama got some kryptonite. They just out here shooting dice with kryptonite. Everybody has kryptonite. We got kryptonite guns, we got kryptonite missiles. I don't understand how I don't understand how Superman just continues to exist when everybody has kryptonite.
That's false. Not everyone has kryptonite.
I watched the whole show where the whole military had kryptonite guns ready for him.
And so you mean tell lose?
Yeah, he basically did, because then plot device, he can rip it out all of a sudden because he can hear his sons calling him. This is nonsense. So
that's another thing. You got kids.
Sentry is gonna go all the way to the DC universe, right? He gonna take the kryptonite from the government. He gonna pull up on Superman. He gonna have some brass knuckles made of kryptonite, and he gonna punch Superman right in the face. And Superman mess around and die, to be honest with you. He might die. And how many times Superman came back? Maybe once.
Yeah, New 52. Yeah, he came back.
Yeah, one time, maybe twice. The original when Doomsday killed him, maybe twice. But that's it. He not regenerating himself. On top of that, Sentry has molecule manipulation. Who's to say he can't create his own kryptonite? Who says he can't create his own red sun? He can literally put a red sun up, get the brass knuckles made of kryptonite, punch Superman in the face with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, and he's gonna be looking like Ares out here.
I don't want to mental health shame anyone, but
oh man, here we go. Yeah, go ahead and do it. I know you don't like mental health problems.
No, I'm just saying you're making a lot of plans for a guy with a split personality. you're like, well, he's gonna create a thing, and then he's gonna create this, and then he's gonna create that, and then like this is a plan is usually made by someone who's stable with some stability, some mental stability.
Are you trying to say that people with mental problems can't be stable?
That's one of their issues. With the reason they can't be stable is due to their mental health issues. Man, and he obviously has.
Man, is that how you go through life? You just
there's nothing wrong with saying that. Last points I'll make. You came up with all these woulda, coulda, shouldas. If they're just going against each other, head up. No like special little thing I'm not going to create. Your boy's made of the sun.
But he can also create solar. He can also create a red sun.
I'm saying if these people are going to head,
that's part of his powers.
It's not.
That's like saying Superman can't use his frost bear.
That's not part of his powers because he's never used it. He's never been like, I'm gonna create. When has Sentry ever created anything? He might use it to destroy stuff, but Sentry does not create things.
He does, and at this time I would try to look it up, but I don't have that type of time right now.
Oh, okay.
But he creates stuff.
Interesting. Oh, okay, that's interesting because you definitely expanding his powers more than what the comics did. But last thing I'll say, and I'll talk to my esteemed judge here. Who do you trust? Right? I think the point of this whole thing is we want to trust our superheroes. We want to know if you got a good heart or not. We want to know your motivations. As we've known with Superman, his motivation is Lois. His motivation is his kids when he had them, right? His motivations is his love for people, humans in general.
He's not even one of us, bro. I can't relate to him.
That's sort of the point. He loves humans because he sees our potential. He sees what we can be, and he's trying to help us get there. Now, we obviously are stubborn and idiots, so we try to fight him by doing so. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he isn't perfect either. But for the most part, he tries to help us to get there, and he has cool people around him who help him out along the way. But Superman is the person you want to trust, and like you said,
you want to trust, but we can't always trust him.
Man, that's what some people think, and that's what caused the world to like Luthor.
Batman don't trust him.
As he shouldn't. He's a smart man. He's a human. He knows he can kill him like that. You shouldn't trust him.
Exactly. Like so why would I want to be like that? That sounds evil, bro.
The great thing about Superman, if he wanted to do that, he would have did it the day he hit Earth. But he didn't.
Unless somebody tries to kill Lois.
The great thing is, it ain't happen. So the point is, Judge, you're a family man. My esteemed Judge Spenser, you're a family man. Don't you want to trust someone who has 2 kids, who lives a very respectable way? He doesn't, live on some tower. He doesn't build wealth for himself using his power. He just lives a regular life. He wants to be a regular Kansas boy, helping people out.
Except he moves to a big city. He'll sell out, bro. He gave up his little town ways for a big city. Nah. Around here, we don't like that type of stuff.
Well, what is Sentry's home? What is Sentry's motivations?
He is motivated by keeping himself in check. He wants to make sure he doesn't hurt people. So he tries to always keep himself in check so that the void doesn't get released.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Your boy keeps himself in check so he doesn't just murder the entire world. Superman keeps himself in check so he doesn't choke a guy to death by trying.
That's the same thing you just said the same thing I just said, except you said one less person. He keeps himself in check. Superman keeps himself in check.
Superman's intentions aren't to murder everyone. Whereas Sentry, the Void's intentions is to destroy all things. It's literally called the Void for a reason. But I rest my case. I
forgot to say his real name. His real name is Robert Reynolds. His nickname is Bob. Come on, bro. That's an American name, Bob.
The boy's trash. Noel came up. Noel did away with him in seconds.
Kal-El. What kind of ridiculous name is that?
First of all, Kal-El is one of the most fire superhero names in history.
So it's better than Bruce Wayne?
Kal-El? Kal-El is fire. I don't care what nobody say.
That shit is trash.
Bob? What the fuck are you, man?
All right, all the Bobs that listen to this podcast will be coming at you too.
Hey, I don't care.
I rule in favor of DC.
It's so easy. It's just easy, man. There's no effort needs to be talked about.
Should we mention the other characters that I had the option to choose too?
Sure.
Do they deserve time.
It was Gladiator and
Hyperion.
yeah, Hyperion.
Yeah, it's copycats, just Superman copycats. That's it.
Bro, he was built in 1938. Every character is gonna be based off of Superman and Batman. I realize.
Still here today.
For the next one, for Marvel, we have Captain America. For DC, we have Guardian. Jordan, your publication.
Year of publication 1940 in Captain America Comics, created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby.
Brandon, your publication for Guardian.
1942, also created by Jack Kirby.
Okay. So Captain America came first. Jordan, what do you have for us?
Man, where do I even start? I mean, it's not Star Wars origin. Well, yeah, origin. I mean, we all know his origin. You know, he's a man at a time. He got his powers from the serum created by Dr. Abraham Erskine to fight against the Nazis in World War II. But before that, you know, he was just a New York kid trying to make his way, trying to protect his country. He was a sickly kid, but he still wanted to do the right thing. He ended up getting hooked up with this, you know, with the doctor. He became Captain America. I mean, we know his origin story, so I don't know if I should go into more than that, but 6'2", 240. Just put that out there.
All right, Brandon.
All right. We have James Harper, also known as Jim Harper. So basically his story is kind of similar to Captain America as far as, you know, during that time, World War II, a lot of people had that same dream. They didn't get souped up with some juice, but they had the same intentions of fighting for their country. They love their country and they loved America in general. They wanted to help out any way they can. So Jim Harper was a rookie cop on the force, and he was, I think, he was in Metropolis. It was a place called Suicide Slum, is where he was from and where he grew up. It's a kind of it's the hood of Metropolis. And so he grew up there, became a cop. He was a rookie cop trying to help people out, and he saw like some things going down in this area that he thought, I can help with this, but I can't do it with a badge on. So he took up the mantle, took up the title of the Guardian, and essentially he has no souped up powers. He's just a guy. He's one of the more relatable superheroes. He's a guy, has a shield, puts on his helmet, and goes to work. Hand-to-hand combat, puts in that work. Investigative skills, outstanding gymnastics, can hold his own versus Batman. And we know Batman piecing up anybody in DC. So, I mean, anybody in Marvel. So, and DC for the most part. So yeah, that's the Guardian.
So he's a regular guy.
Absolutely. We lean into being the regular guys over
here. So you know, no powers. He probably got a flimsy shield.
That shield's pretty dope, actually.
That's it? What's the shield made out of?
Metal? Just regular steel. Yeah.
Regular steel. Come on, dog. We punching through that.
Hey,
we punching through. Let me just tell you a little bit about Captain America, because
hey man, we don't get juiced up over here.
Bro. All the greats used to use juice. Barry Bonds, you know,
not in the Hall of Fame. There's consequences to using the juice.
Not for Captain America. Captain America is the peak performance of a human, you know, and the only thing it did was the only thing the serum did was change his body mass. Everything he had before that, personality, motivations, it all stayed the same. It changed his body mass and gave him, you know,
what is it called? What is the serum called?
Super Soldier Serum.
Super Soldier Serum. It did not change just his body mass, bro.
All it did was it made him,
everything Captain America can do is due to that serum.
He is the peak perfection of human. He can lift twice his body weight. He's an expert military strategist, Olympic level gymnast, and he's resistant to all disease and fatigue. I'm not even gonna mention his shield yet, because I'm not even gonna mention his shield. So let me think about this. So if your guy has a little regular shield, there are humans that live in our world who can punch through that no problem. it probably take a couple punches, but eventually they'll get through that. Now let's think about it. Captain America, on multiple occasions, has punched through things way stronger than that. And if I mention his shield is made out of vibranium, and we understand vibranium to be indestructible. So let's just say, Cap throws his shield at this regular human being, he can't catch it. One, he ain't gonna be able to catch it. Two, if he try to block it, it's gonna go through his shield as well. Three, he gonna look like Peggy Carter from Doctor Strange if he try to do anything.
Hey man, again, you're trying to put these people head to head in a fight. I get it. Captain America is going to win due to him being souped up. I want to dig deeper into Steve Rogers though, if we could. Here, it's interesting. You start to look at his history.
I know where this about to go.
I mean, it's a little interesting.
He's from the north. He's from New York. He's from the north. So he's from the north. He's not from the south. So let's get this out there.
He should know better. So where was Captain America during the Civil Rights Movement?
He was froze. Are you gonna hurt them? Are you gonna talk about the man because he was frozen in ice? He couldn't do anything. If Captain America there, he would have stopped it. He would have been the symbol of hope. Let's not forget, Captain America is basically Superman, but to more of a common level. He's not an alien. People aspire to be Captain America.
Okay, let me dig a little deeper then. Essentially, Captain America is Superman with a MAGA hat on.
Whoa.
When we talk about the Sokovia Accords, he doesn't like government involvement, doesn't like accountability, wants to be free, wants to behave the way he wants to, and doesn't want government interaction.
So are you telling me if the government comes to you now and say, Brandon, we want to know everything about you. This is our right to know everything about you.
It's all right. You're right.
No, that's the government's right. That's what they believe. But Captain America's like, this is the land of the free. Since when do we have to conform to these conformists?
No. Not when you blowing up buildings all over the world.
All right. All right. First of all, we're gonna separate this out because you're talking movies and we're talking Civil War. The comics.
It doesn't matter.
It's not the same.
In the comics, did they not blow up? They literally have a group called, what is it? Damage Control? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they literally go around fixing or helping or building up back buildings that these superheroes are destroying. So that is what Tony Stark was talking about. We need to have accountability, checks and balances. But your boy with his MAGA hat on, with his red hat on, was like, no accountability.
If anything, Iron Man is definitely wearing a MAGA hat. Let's get this right here.
Absolutely not.
What? All right, Spencer, what you think? Iron Man, MAGA, or no?
He's the judge. We'll wait for his decision at the end.
But this don't have nothing. This had nothing to do with the argument.
No, it does. That's the point.
Iron Man, MAGA hat or no?
This is my key point for Guardian. I understand he is the weaker superhero, but I like a superhero who can stand on his own 10 and go.
Oh, you mean like Captain America?
No, I can stand on my own 10. I'm gonna go with what I'm built with, and I'm gonna defend my country and defend my area for my love of my area.
I don't know if you can defend anything if you die and like you get thumped in the head. Like he's a regular guy. He gonna get sick, bro. He gonna get sick. He might even miss. He might miss something because he got COVID. He ain't gonna be able to make it.
This is the problem. So what you're basically saying is a soldier who goes off to Afghanistan, who's a human, who has no enhanced powers, and stands up for our country.
Do we know that?
Weakling.
Do we know that?
What do you mean? Do we know? What are you talking about?
Hey, some people are conspiracy theorists, and some conspiracies out there that some of these soldiers are out here getting a super soldier serum as well.
Anyways,
so let's just talk about it.
Hold on, let me do my last point. The last thing I'll say is you're discrediting humans just because they die. Just because Guardian may die in this battle, I believe he's more respectable because he didn't take any juice. He's literally just trying to protect his area. Your boy took juice to become who he was.
Okay, so you say that,
and he took stuff from Black people and used it for the betterment of himself. But that's neither here nor there. We've seen many people do that before, right?
You want to talk about the betterment. He took juice to defend his country. when the country was
Did he?
getting taken, when countries were trying to get taken over by the Nazis, and we're talking Nazis like the Red Skull, Baron von Strucker, Baron Zemo, all of Hydra. These are some evil people. We know what the people did, during those times. Captain America chose to put himself on the line to take an experimental serum. He could have died, but he wanted to take that chance because he wanted to defend his country.
No,
and
it was
turns
selfish.
He turns out he did the right move. He still continued to take care of the country whenever there was wars. Who was on the front line? Captain America, saving his team. He put his life on the line multiple times. He's the leader of the Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes. You can't tell me that title doesn't come with some type of respect. He also is a master of multiple weapons. It says any weapon he used, he's able to master it in seconds.
So can Guardian. Guardian's also.
But Guardian's just a regular dude. I don't know how many regular people just seeing a weapon for the first time and able to master it.
He's an excellent tactician. He's outstanding. He's a marksman.
So tell me,
you're a marksman, you can
tell me his leadership. What is his leadership ability? What teams has he been on? Is he a team player? What team has he been on?
He's been in Justice League Society. He's
not the Justice League, the Justice League Society, the B team.
Well, technically, but also that's a team that represents America, right? They want to protect America. Justice League, Earth, they want to protect America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got to really take pride. Your boy Captain America says he was doing it for America, but it was really selfish reasons. Your boy wasn't getting none. Your boy was getting bullied.
Whoa.
He wanted to be like his boy, Winter Soldier. He wanted to be like Bucky. So he took the stuff selfishly. Let's come on. Let's be true.
So when he died, if we're talking movies, so if we're gonna talk movies, let's talk movies. Is it selfish for a man to jump on a grenade to defend the people around him?
I think he did that for notoriety.
He was regular. He was just his regular old, unhealthy self. Saying
he wanted to be known. He wasn't known for anything. No one knew Steve Rogers' name. So if he would have died that day, it would have been like, wow, what a brave move by Steve Rogers. That would have been the only time you knew his name. And he did that for that reason.
Lots of soldiers do that every day. They
don't do it juiced up. Line. But they go, what do? They wake up the next morning and they go about their life. They don't go, man, I got to get juiced up.
Who's to say if they were offered the chance to become something greater, to protect the country that they love, that they wouldn't take that opportunity?
But why does that make you greater is my argument. Why does being juiced up
because you have a better chance of being successful versus Guardian, who potentially could get COVID and be out 2 weeks because he chose to, not wear a mask, licking doorknobs.
That's your boy. Your boy MAGA. He don't believe in masks. No mandates.
He don't even need a mask because he's immune to disease. Well, also, let me just point out something real cool about Captain America. He once became a werewolf, and he was still Captain America. It was werewolf Cap. Come on now, you can't tell me that's not raw.
It's not. Fine.
No,
I get it.
That's pretty raw. Anyway, and then the Shield. Come on now, the Shield itself, American.
Stolen?
This is an American guy. He wears an American flag. He is for the people. Guardian is just for, I don't know, his local community, Y.
So he took something from Black people and slapped America on it and got the credit for it.
I mean, hey, who's to say?
I'm just saying. He took it from the Wakandans, didn't give them credit for it nationally, just gave them a good job, slapped the flag on it, and was like, yeah, look at me.
Guardian probably seems like the guy who was in high school, he the older guy. He talks about how great he was in high school, but he got hurt. That seems like that was probably Guardian. He talks about how great he was, but now he's just a washed up old man. I feel like Guardian is
actually, he died. The Guardian died. I think it was Dick Grayson killed him.
I mean, yeah, Steve Rogers, he died. He died a few times too, and a couple of people picked up a different mantle. But yeah, these characters die all the time. But they always come back one way or another, unless Guardian doesn't come back.
He did, but all right, that's my argument.
All right. It's crazy that Jack Kirby created both these characters. I didn't know who Guardian was before this. I looked them up, and bro, they look exactly the same. Like you can literally tell that they're the exact same.
Yeah, like, and Marvel definitely did it first.
But it's the same person too, which is crazy.
Yeah. Based on the arguments presented, I have to rule in favor of DC. Like, Brandon put up a better argument than you did.
Because he tried to call Cap racist? Because he tried to call Cap racist? That's a better argument?
I didn't say racist. I just touched on his beliefs. That's it.
He brought in...
my God. What did he bring
in? He made it very clear that... Brandon's argument presented that Guardian had better intentions than Captain America did. And your argument mostly hinged on the fact that he's a super soldier and like can't really die, which doesn't mean much here because we're looking at who is the better character overall. And Jordan, I feel like you could have presented a better argument here is what
I mean. Brandon
this
just called
comes
my
down
guy racist. I mean, he threw childish names out, and that's a better argument.
I just presented facts. That's all.
Brandon, Brandon, his job was to shit on your person.
Yeah. I love Steve Rogers. You know, I fight for Captain America First Avenger all day. But in this case, yeah.
This is I mean, I just feel like you guys are racist.
Here we go.
Hey,
here we go.
You guys don't like?
Already got excuses.
What don't we like?
You guys don't like? Next question.
All right.
Can't believe you guys did that.
Jordan, I thought this was going to be an easy lob for you.
Yeah, that was a.
I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens when you pull the race card. White people can't win sometimes.
What? That don't even fit. But all right.
For the last one for today, we will do for DC, we have the Justice League, and for Marvel, we have the Avengers. Both groups of superheroes dedicated to saving their respective worlds. Brandon, when did the Justice League first hit the shelves?
In 1960.
And Jordan, when did the Avengers first hit the shelves?
July 1963, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Okay. We know that there are different iterations of these teams, and both of these teams have had everybody in them.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, what do we have?
Okay, I'm going to present to you the New 52 origin story, just because, like you said, there's a bunch of different ways this team was put together, different stories. So essentially, there's a whole movie about it, which is a beautiful movie. I suggest you go check it out on HBO Max. Essentially, what happened was, just to give an overview, Justice League is the greatest group of super beings of all time. It has the greatest. If you're going to name the top 10 greatest superheroes of all time, Justice League is probably going to have the majority of them: Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. You can keep going. But essentially, the origin story is that pretty quickly that the parademons show up. They show up. They're looking for the mother box on Earth. Green Lantern. Actually, I think Batman's chasing them first, and then Green Lantern pulls up. They don't know each other, so then they think each other's the enemy. They start fighting. Then Superman pulls up and is like, Superman does what Superman does, puts away both of them pretty easily. And he's also figuring out this parademon is like for real. And they essentially, Darkseid is made aware that there's a resistance on Earth. So then he comes, attacks Earth, and all these superheroes are aware that this huge being Darkseid is attacking Earth. So they decide, they fend him off, they defeat him, and then they decide moving forward, they need to put a team together to combat any sort of future issues they have going on from there. and they have a tower in the sky. They watch over Earth, and they have so many. The beautiful thing about the Justice League is so many members. But yeah, that's just the origin story.
Okay, and Jordan.
I definitely had options to go with this, and I was leaning towards kind of the BC team, the Avengers from the 10,000 BC, just because I thought it'd be an interesting argument. But I decided to go with the original kind of founding team. So the founding team consists of Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man, and Wasp, and then in the second issue, Captain America joined. So it was like immediately he joined. And so this is Earth Mightiest Heroes. They, defend Earth against the big attacks. And the way that this team got formed was Loki, as we all know, Thor's brother Loki. He actually took over the mind of the Hulk and caused him to kind of go on a frenzy. And at the time, Hulk was pretty unbeatable. So they had to pull together this team, and they couldn't call on the X-Men. They also couldn't call on the Fantastic Four. Well, they tried to, and then they couldn't stop them. So they had to put this team together of, remarkable heroes who were able to calm the Hulk and eventually defeat him as well. And that's how this particular team was formed. And like Brandon said, same with Avengers, everyone basically in Marvel has been an Avengers. There's also, a Dark Avengers team. The current Avengers team is completely different, but the original team, consists of Thor, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Wasp, Giant Man. I keep saying Ant-Man, but Giant Man, he became Giant Man second issue, and Captain America. And so, this is the go-to team when Earth needs defending.
Okay. Brandon, what do we have?
I think this is a pretty lopsided argument here. I just think Justice League, if you just threw out Superman, Flash, Aquaman, I think they piecing up the entire Avengers team by themselves. Not to mention we got Wonder Woman. Not to mention some of these other great characters. And the beautiful thing, the greatest animated television show of all time to me is the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. The beautiful thing about that show is that it highlighted the depth of which the Justice League is, right? So the Avengers, you could probably go 10 deep, maybe.
No.
Maybe then you're going to like Kate Bishop and like
no.
Get Bishop.
Get Bishop.
We're not even gonna go there. No,
and you're like you're having stories about Black Widow and like there's way more characters, and not to mention the Avengers aren't even the most powerful team in Marvel, but that's neither here nor there. The point is the Justice League is so dope because you have outstanding relationships. You have Batman,
who doesn't trust him,
Batman and Superman,
who don't trust him,
who have an outstanding brotherly
they don't trust each other.
They don't, but that's the point. That's what makes it great is they don't trust each other, but they still have love for each other. They understand why they're needed. They understand why one is necessary and the other is necessary. Mm-hmm. Then you have the love triangle because they both have feelings at one time or another towards Diana, who's also one of the top. She's like the prodigy of the group, right? She came from her through the scare, and and she.
So is she the only? So is she the only one? They only have one woman versus all these other guys. She's the only woman on the team.
No, Hawk Girl. I mean, it's a bunch of women on the team.
Okay,
Vixen. I mean, we can keep going.
It sounds like you're starting to get into like the C-list characters. Me.
I mean, Vixen's outstanding. She loves the Green Lantern. Oh, I didn't even mention the Green Lantern. Jesus Christ, I forget how deep we are. The Green Lantern is top 3 in Marvel, but thank you. Not to mention John Jones. Goodness gracious.
Who's John Jones? Oh, is that Martian Manhunter?
Yeah. You know Vision, who's like the great value version of Martian Manhunter. But yeah, Justice League.
That's on my list. We'll talk about those two in another episode.
Yeah, right. There's plenty of. This is a great comparison of both, but Justice League is just a better story. Like Avengers is dope. Don't get me wrong. Civil War is great, but Crisis on Infinite Earth. You got Doomsday. You got so many different great Flashpoint. You got so many great stories And DC just does a better job of integrating those characters. Like Constantine is part of Justice League. You'll see a story where, you know, Batman and Constantine go on an adventure together, or Wonder Woman and Justice League Dark go on an adventure together, and it's actually interesting. Whereas you don't necessarily get that from Avengers. You can't put Captain America and, I don't know, freaking some random character over there.
Well, you know, you want to know the good thing is you just said that, you know. Actually, you can continue. I'll let you continue. You know, that was very rude of me. You're right.
Thank you. But yeah, you can't just put Captain America with any character and be dope. Like the beautiful thing about DC is like, I just read a comic the other day. It was Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. They were together, and they were talking about being like the rejects, not getting called up to the A team of Justice League. And they were trying to, and literally Booster Gold was trying to impress people. He was trying to go viral on Instagram.
Whoa.
Just to impress Batman and Superman so he could get called up. Like it was an interesting story that was just dope, because if you know Booster Gold, like that's something he would literally do. So the point is, Justice League, yeah, I could highlight Superman, Batman. I could go in all day about that. But the beautiful thing about the Justice League is you have people like The Question. You have you have so many, Green Arrow, who just had 9 seasons of a television show because he's that interesting. So I'll let you go, Jordan, but just our roster is 10 times deeper. 10 times.
So if we're gonna go on the roster, you know, the way the Avengers operate is there are many people in the Avengers team. So they have to actually split them up into multiple different teams. So I'll just name a few teams, and you know, who are the people on these teams, because they are handpicked for the operation. So we got the Secret Avengers. This is a handpicked team, picked by Captain America, and kind of people who he know will get the job done. So this is people like Beast from the X-Men, Nova, Black Widow, Moon Knight, of Thor. These are people that he knows are going to get the job done. Then we have people like the Savage Avengers, and this team is the deadly team, the deadliest, you know, Avengers team there is. We got Venom, Brother Voodoo, Conan the Barbarian, Punisher, Wolverine, and Elektra. That team right there is going to get whatever job they need done. They're going to get it done fast. And then let's say, you know, let's get into the tech world. You know, let's say we want to do some hacking. Then we have the Avengers AI team, who consists of Hank Pym, Doctor Doom. Come on, that's a heavyweight name right there. Oh, my computer's just on crazy. Vision and Monica Chang. So when you want to talk about the different rosters, everyone has a deep roster. And let's just get into some of the greatest stories there is. And I'm gonna start by simply saying, start with the movies. You talked about having the greatest TV show. That's fine, all that's cool. That was a long time ago. Some of these young boys don't know about that. So we gonna leave that in the past. Let's get to something more recent. What are the Brendan, can you name for me, you know, what you think in the top of your head? What is the top grossing movies all time? What would you think they are?
I mean, obviously they're going to be Marvel movies, but
more specific. I want you to get more specific when it comes to that.
I mean, I don't believe it's Avengers movies. I don't believe.
You don't believe, or is that what you think?
I think they're actually different movies that aren't about the Avengers, like Spider-Man, Black Panther.
Brendan, let me just quickly go over the list. We got Avengers Endgame. We got Avengers Infinity War. We got the first Avengers. That's 3 out of 4 Avengers movies right there in the tops. So you telling me that you guys have a great show, and you guys have all these great characters, but I'm seeing the Avengers doing it better.
You guys don't have better characters. Your directors and producers are better. Congrats.
But the characters, we can actually connect to these characters. I can't connect to some of your characters in the Justice League. I can't connect with the Flash.
What do you mean? The point is, okay, how relevant was Iron Man before the MCU?
I mean, how relevant were a lot of these characters before their debut? How relevant is Vixen? You name Vixen. How relevant was Martian Manhunter before the Justice League cartoon?
He was very relevant. John Jones. Now
I
that
mean,
increased him, but
exactly. Iron Man was the same way. It increased him.
how relevant was Captain America? How relevant was Black T'Challa? How was relevant for any of these? The MCU is your only go-to because we all know what nobody giving a damn about half of the Avenger characters until the movies. But that's again, if that's your argument, then
I'm
fine.
This is what it is. This is the world we live in now. Everyone loves the Avengers, and then you talk about the movie that had to be basically re-released just to have a better version of the movie, Justice League.
Look,
the characters portrayed on screen they were bad. These were not good portrayals of the characters. You know why? Because the Justice League team itself, isn't better than Avengers. And Avengers are in New York. You told me that the Watchtower is in space. How long does it take for them to get to space to New York City? How long do you think it takes?
Oh, Superman is like a couple seconds.
So by himself. What about everyone else?
Around that time, they have a jet that travels really fast.
So they have a jet in outer space? Is that how gravity works? I don't know. Either way, it sounds like they're not going to get there as fast as the Avengers being in New York. The Avengers are square one. We can go visit Avengers Tower. It's kind of like when you see a nice building, you're like, man, I really wish I could see that building. They have Jarvis come down like, hey, would you like to meet Tony Stark? Would you like to meet Captain America? You can go actually meet your heroes, your icons. If I want to see Superman, I have to look up in space with a telescope at the right light at the nighttime with no other lights. I can't relate to these characters. I can't relate to John Jones.
Why? He's a black man. He's a black man. You can't relate to a black man?
I can't relate to an alien, bro. He a poser. That's why you like him, bro. Y'all both posers. He pretends to be black and you pretend to like comics. I understand now.
No, he chose to be black. He understood the beauty of the black experience. And he said, you know what? Throughout all the negative shit that comes with being a black man in America, he chose to be a black man.
He ain't black when he's fighting. So why he don't be black when he's fighting? He black when it's convenient. A poser.
He isn't black when he's convenient. Also, it sounds very elitist of you for your headquarters to be in New York. What if the issue is in Kansas? Right? What if the issue is in Montana? I mean, y'all not really. What are y'all gonna do? Fly across the country? The Justice League Tower is there because if there's an issue in China, we can go there.
Oh,
if there's
you mean
an issue in Australia, we can go there.
Oh, you mean so it's kind of like we have a character who can create portals like Doctor Strange, who can quickly get us anywhere?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, we have Dr. Fate too. And I mean, we don't need the portal.
But these characters aren't relatable. That's why I understand.
And who's to say Doctor Strange is even in this realm when this stuff happens? He could be handling something else.
The same thing about Dr. Fate.
That's the point. We don't use him to travel. Y'all use him to travel.
We have multiple travel ways. And
the
also,
point is, you're depending on the MCU. I don't need to depend on the MCU. Could not exist, and I would be just fine. The MCU does exist, and I am just fine because the characters are better, right? We want to. There's a reason why there's so many Batman movies because it's a beautiful story. We want to see it over and over again. They're about to make another Superman. We love the character. It doesn't matter how.
No, they make a lot of movies because they try to get it right. No, just because you make a lot of movies, they don't mean they're better. It just sounds like you have to continue to get it right.
No, I think my point is separate the execution of the character and the actual character. The character I'm talking about is in the comics. The Justice League is better because they have better characters.
Your Honor, I want to present to you something. I thought I was going to save this, but I'm actually use it. Tell me this doesn't sound cool, okay? I'm going to give you the very, very first Avengers team ever formed. Okay, so think about this. This is 10,000 BC, okay? We're in the age of dinosaurs, Neanderthals. Now listen to this team. Agamotto, who was the greatest sorcerer to ever walk this entire universe. The original Black Panther, the the first Black Panther who was given his power by Bost or Based, however say, I think it's Bost.
Don't even know people name. Sad.
Because they have an accent that I don't have. You know,
It just doesn't.
Oh, the accent is back.
I
gotta do it at least one episode. Then we have Ghost Rider, the very first Ghost Rider, and guess what he rides? Guess what? Just try to guess what this Ghost Rider rides on. You can't even tell me. You know why? Because he rides on a woolly mammoth that's lit on fire. Tell me that isn't raw. We have the original Iron Fist, the first ever Iron Fist, the original Phoenix to ever make an appearance ever. The cosmic entity known as the Phoenix possessed a girl. They call her Firehead. Because her hair was red. She was imbued with the power of the Phoenix. Hey, it is what it is. Odin. We all know the great and powerful Odin. And on top of that, the Star Brand, one of the most powerful beings in the universe as well. So this team defended the Earth in 10,000 BC, long before the Justice League was even thought of. Superman was still in Jor-El's balls, and this team was out here saving Earth.
Wow!
Against Celestials. The odds of them beating the Celestials, that's the type of stuff they're up against.
Your Honor, I have two last points, and then I'll let it go from here. My first point is, I mean, who are the Avengers' main team they go against? They don't have one. No one cares.
Oh,
no,
I mean, AIM,
what are they called?
AIM, Hydra, Ultron, Kang, the Kree, the Skrulls. I mean, I guess they don't call them nobody, I guess.
Oh, they don't have a name. If I have the League of Doom. The League of Doom. Lex Luthor. Joker.
Fancy words.
Gorilla God. Like, all these guys are amazing. Oh, whoa there. Amazing villains. And they got together because the Justice League was so powerful. It was like, Joker was like, I don't like you, Lex Luthor, at all. I despise you, actually. But we're going to get together. Like, that is Justice League actually has quality villains to go up against. And because they were Justice League was so powerful, again, they had to create a full out team to go combat them.
You can create a team no matter what, but okay. Your second.
My last point. The Avengers aren't even the most powerful group in Marvel.
Who's more powerful?
This is a little group called the X-Men.
Nope. Not according. No, the Avengers are the greatest group ever.
I mean, I think the X-Men could literally make the Avengers not exist, and they could literally tweak everyone's minds where they don't exist, and no one would even think about them again. So the point is, you aren't even the most powerful group in your universe, yet you're trying to go against the Justice League. So I rest my case there. Thank you, Your Honor. It was a great time. Thank you.
Justice League isn't the most powerful in the DC universe. Let's just get that out there.
Who is?
The JSA. I just know about the JSA. I don't really know who in it. I just know about them. But
go ahead, Spencer. Go ahead.
I have to rule in favor of DC. Brandon said Brandon's argument was that not only is the Justice League a better team, but that they have better stories. And you were able to name different subsets of the Avengers, and you hung your hat on the MCU.
That's all I need to do.
That's one story.
Thank you.
That's a I don't know, 20-year story.
Infinity Saga is,
and that is not to say I'm not saying that it's a bad story. It's a great story. Like, I am really glad that we have the MCU, but again, Brandon came in with several different successful Justice League stories. Brandon came in with the fact that the Justice League has a dense enough roster and the character development where they can put two people together that have no business being together and make a successful story, a compelling story, and an interesting story. You didn't do that.
Yeah, I should have went to like the Infinity Saga, that whole thing.
Should have went to a bunch of things.
Yeah, like there were so many things I was like Brandon, whenever you talked about like traveling, the Justice League has Zeta tubes. They can get literally anywhere at any time with the Zeta.
The mother box. Yeah, that's true. That's facts.
And
except when the mother box go missing.
So Brandon didn't need that. Like that didn't even come up. But
there's too much ammunition.
Today, I think that I think Brandon came in more prepared.
You know, some might say that is correct. Others may not.
I just want to give the viewing, the audience, I just want to give you guys context. Like your boy, this was a less than 24-hour research session, right? This wasn't even like, and just for context, Spenser, the great judge that he is, he gave us plenty of time to work on this.
A little biased, a little biased. I'm not gonna say anything though. It's not too bad.
I mean, the listeners, you guys can let us know what you believe, who had the better arguments for each character, whatever.
Because I wanted to be very clear that I was not making these rulings based on who I thought was the better character. I was making these rulings based on who presented the better argument.
Who was the better characters? You go through and pick like each one.
For let's see, let me pull up the thing. For Moon Knight, Batman, I struggle with that one. I might give that to Moon Knight just because Moon Knight has more going on, personally, like within the character himself. Like he's got a lot more happening. Bruce has, a special place in my heart.
But he's been the same since 1940, whatever.
Well, there are a lot of different versions of him, and that's not to say that Bruce isn't compelling. There's a reason he's up here, but
Moon Knight, have Sentry and Superman.
Who do I think is better?
Yeah,
Superman.
Yeah, I agree. When I was, because of course, I don't really know anything about Sentry, so I definitely found out a lot between. And also, you gave me a choice between Blue Marvel. I should have picked Blue Marvel just because I want to know more about him. And Hyperion, I think you sent me.
Yeah, because those are pretty direct copies.
Yeah,
there are a bunch, but the most direct are those three: Hyperion, Sentry, and Gladiator. Every time I see Gladiator, I think of the "I'm the Juggernaut bitch" videos.
Yeah.
For Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate, I feel like you put up a pretty good argument for that one. But I would have to say I like Dr. Fate more. But I feel like Doctor Strange is a lot more involved.
I feel like I would have to see a lot more of Dr. Fate. Just, once again, I don't know much about Dr. Fate. He seems pretty cool though.
He's dope. Spenser is right. He's not as involved as Doctor Strange is.
Yeah, like Doctor Strange is directly involved. Like Doctor Strange may even be closer to Constantine as far as involvement.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Constantine is pretty involved, but because of Doctor Strange's title and level of power and influence, I put him up with Dr. Fate. But I don't want to call Constantine street level, but in comparison, like Constantine is very street level as far as magic goes.
Yeah, I was saying as far as like supernatural wise.
Yeah. For Justice League and Avengers, I would pick Justice League.
What about Captain America, Gladiator? Guardian.
Captain America.
Disrespecting my dude's name, bro.
Bro, when I saw that picture of him, I was like, golly, like you can literally tell that they're direct copies.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like these comic books, that's what I didn't know they were the same dude. Like that was news to me.
Jack Kirby, he created both of them.
Yeah, like that's hilarious.
Yeah, did it on purpose. Yeah,
but yeah, Captain America. Captain America should have won that. Like, quite honestly, like
you gotta give me. Brandon's a better arguer. I like to put my words. I'm action Brandon's words.
You take a shot at
that. That is good to know. That is good to know. So, with that being the case, perhaps the next time we do this, we'll bring in some guests to help you with words.
Yeah, I don't do words.
Man, I'm good on the mic.
We know.
Yeah, we know.
We figured out that you don't do words.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good though.
That's fine. Like we would not be here without you. This podcast, as far as I understand, was your idea.
Hey man, we all make it happen. We all make it happen. So,
all right.
Well, that was definitely fun. Brandon, he put up a couple good arguments. His racist remarks against Captain America. I knew he was gonna go there. I literally seen a TikTok today.
I had it.
It was like Captain America told Vision, "We don't trade lives." He's like, "But as soon as they got to Wakanda, he sent all the Wakandans out there first." Bro, I was cracking up. He said he let all the Black lives go first. And then he was behind him.
Yeah, I had the MAGA Captain America in the back tuck. Chase.
We've been talking about that for years now. Like I remember the first time Brandon said to me, like, Steve Rogers would have voted for Trump. I was like, wow.
I don't know. I don't know if he would. I think Iron Man definitely would have, because he ain't trying to get taxed that much.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I love Steve Rogers. I love Steve Rogers. Like I love Captain America, but yeah, I had to make the argument.
That's good though. I liked it.
That was
which I think Superman, which I think he vote.
Hard to say.
Yeah,
I feel like he might be a Make America Great and make.
His Kansas roots, keep him. I feel like he wouldn't vote. Like if a dude like Trump came up, he just wouldn't vote.
Because I mean, because he was against Lex Luthor as president, I feel like he would be against Trump as president.
Right.
I think it'd be hard to say. Like I don't know.
He'd be secretly funding them or voting against them.
Yeah, like it's hard to say.
Don't talk about Superman like that, man.
But I could see Superman. I feel like Superman would be more liberal, I would think.
Yeah.
Because he did go to, the big city.
Yeah.
And he's a journalist.
Yeah. They call him fake news.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He get called fake news real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, man, we could talk about another episode, but I'm so annoyed at Superman. We talk off air about something I'm really annoyed at. I don't want to be all night.
Okay. Well, yeah, I had a great time with this. Next time we do this, we may bring on some extra folks, and I'll still give you all the same amount of research time, or we could do some where no research, you just go from what you know, because research may have been the reason we got here.
Yeah, I'm off the dome. Brandon like to do his. He's a writer, bro.
That's not like Brandon convinced me that Guardian was better than Captain America
because he write all his rhymes, bro. I'm a real rapper. I freestyle. I got a good promo. I can't help that. I'm good on I can't help it. What can I say?
No, and that's what this was. This was good. And again, I guess I didn't realize that Jordan was at such a disadvantage.
It's words, bro. I don't do words. I'm all about the action.
Ideals.
All right. The ideals.
Well, we're at the end. Definitely follow us on Twitter at the LMG Podcast. Also, be sure and check this video out on YouTube. You look us up on the League of Melanated Gentlemen on YouTube. Be sure and like and subscribe as well for more content.
And let us know if you would have ruled in favor the same way based on the arguments.
Agreed.
Again, not based on what you already know, not based on what you already think, based on the arguments presented.
Correct.
How would you have ruled?
Yeah, let us know. Well, we're never duplicated.
Always appreciated.
And forever melanated.